Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome in if this is your first time being here. My name is Melissa. This is Empowered Gems Tarot, and in today's reading, we're going to be looking into the topic healing blocks to abundance and wealth. All right, so this reading is intended to be more of like a financial flow type of reading, but when we think of the word abundance, that can mean a lot of different things, and it doesn't necessarily have to be only limited to financial. So I'm going to just kind of keep it open-ended. The core undercurrent of this reading is going to have a little bit more of a money and finances thread to it, but as you guys know, I like to keep it open to spirit to see what other types of messages come through, and there can be other things in life that kind of factor into that connection to our, like abundance or wealth or money energy, if that makes sense. So we're going to look at that today. I'm going to be looking into the current energy over this topic for you. We'll take a look at what's coming up next for you. And then we'll also take a look at blockages or advice that Spirit has for you so that you can attract in abundance, wealth, and prosperity in whatever form or fashion you are looking to do. Okay. Remember that this is a general collective reading on YouTube, so messages will vary in how specifically they may resonate with each individual viewer out there. So as a best practice, if anything feels confusing or just doesn't really feel like it fits your situation, release it, let it go. Understand the message is likely for somebody else out there in the collective. Not every general reading is going to resonate specifically with every person out there. If you guys did want to book a personal reading, the link to my website is in the description box down below. If you want to book one with me, personal readings can be a better way to get a more specific read on your own personal energy and situation. Also keep in mind, guys, this is a tarot reading, right? So we're not doing like financial advice in this reading. This is more about the energetic relationship that you have to wealth, abundance, and money in general. So if you are looking for professional guidance, I would always recommend consulting with a professional, like a financial advisor or someone that is more of a subject matter expert in any unique challenges that you are facing at this time, okay? But with all of that being said, we will now go ahead and select your reading. So for reading number 1, we have the energy of Neptune. For reading 2, we have the energy of Uranus. And for reading 3, we have the energy of Mercury. So take a deep breath. Think about healing blocks to abundance and wealth and what it is that you need to know. Select the card that you feel the most intuitively connected to. Pause the video if you need a little bit more time to select your reading. But when you're ready, the timestamp to your selected reading will be in the description box down below. See you there. Hey group 1, welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Neptune energy, this will be your message. So the topic today is healing blocks to abundance and wealth. So we're going to be taking a look at your financial flow today, the flow of abundance coming to or from you. We're going to start by taking a look at the current energy around this topic for you, and then we'll look into what's up next and any guidance, advice, or blockages that Spirit wants you to be aware of, okay? So you guys start off here with the current energy represented by Neptune, okay? And we also have here, this is Venus in the 7th house, Libra, indecision. All right, I'm going to pull just a couple cards just to get us started for the overall energy in particular, and then we'll kind of dive in little by little here. Okay, Spirit, so tell us a little bit more about the current energy for group 1 as it pertains to abundance and wealth. Current energy for group 1. Okay, we just want to get one, please, Spirit. One card, please. Okay, we have the Hierophant coming up. 10 of coins at the bottom, which is interesting. I already feel for a lot of you guys, there's something about a partnership, like a business partnership or a marriage that is very much connected to the flow of abundance coming your way, and that is supported by this Libra energy, this Hierophant, and this 10 of Pentacles. Okay, could be a business partnership, again, could be a marriage. Current energy of wealth and abundance for group 1, please, Spirit. We have relationships. Okay. Makes a lot of sense. All right, we're going to come back to these cards in just a moment. Let's get started. All right, you guys. So with the energy of Neptune being here, this is a beautiful energy because Neptune is spiritual in nature. And I definitely feel like for a lot of you guys, there could be a connection to like your faith or your spiritual views sort of directly impacting the flow of abundance, prosperity, and wealth coming to you. You guys have a lot of this kind of purpley indigo energy, which is connected to the third eye chakra. So this is our kind of psychic sight, if you will. And so maybe some of you guys like identify as being a psychic, or maybe you have intuitive gifts, or your intuition is just like highly connected. Your spirituality, your religion is highly connected to the flow of abundance right now. And I'm really drawn to this Neptune, how we have the hands in prayer and this light kind of beaming. It makes me feel like a lot of you right now are in a place where maybe you're like leaning into your faith to get the support that you need when it comes to wealth or finances, or kind of like, oh, one moment. Oh, so annoying, you guys. Sorry. There was an ad that came up on the music I was playing, so I just paused it. So yeah, it's almost like maybe you guys are manifesting or kind of putting energy out there to spirit around whatever it is that you need at this time, whatever support you're looking for from the universe. Now, something that is drawing my eye, you guys, is in both of these cards, I want you guys to notice how we have these two figures that are like together, but kind of separate. And with this card in particular, I do feel like right now there might be some sort of difficult choice or decision that you're looking to make when it comes to your finances or your wealth, or maybe even something connected to your relationship, whatever's the most significant relationship for you, right? Like, so whether you're married, again, this could be about a business partner. Maybe this is even about like a business relationship with, you know, like your work, whatever it is. I think you're at kind of a crossroads here. I think for a lot of you guys, there's this tendency to want to maintain diplomacy and wanting to kind of like make sure things are stable and comfortable, not rocking the boat, right? Libra is really good at diplomatic energy. But the caution that I see here is like with Neptune, there can be a tendency to sort of project things or not see things as clearly as we should be seeing them. And what I see is that in both of these cards, there is sort of this like separateness. Okay, people that are together but separate. We have business partners, office love affairs, and communication with coworkers are highlighted now. Make choices with extreme care. So there's definitely something here where I think Spirit is like highlighting it's time to make a decision. Hierophant again, and look, the third eye is up here. So the Hierophant is talking about like, current energy. Again, this could be connected to like a relationship or something more traditional in your life, your spiritual views or beliefs. Maybe even for some of you, there's a current energy of wanting to see an advisor, a subject matter expert when it comes to finances or whatever situation that you're in. Because I do see we have this 10 of coins at the bottom of the deck. And this card talks about family and legacy and kind of like saving for the future versus spending right now. And what's kind of interesting to me is in this card, she's by herself. Right? She's got kind of like she's manifesting this. Maybe some of you guys are single and you're manifesting this energy or kind of building your own nest egg, your own abundance as a single person before you get into a relationship. But like either way, it just feels like there's some decision, something tricky here. Maybe there's some sort of self-confidence issues here around building your own wealth or your own legacy outside of a partnership, or some confusion around how to do that. So let's keep going. Let's see what's up next for you guys around this topic, and then we'll take a look at blocks, guidance, or advice from Spirit. So what's coming up next for group one when it comes to their abundance and their wealth? Group one. This one wanted to come out, and it is the Six of Swords. So we have more of this psychic energy coming up. And what guidance, advice, or blocks do you want group one to know about at this time, please, Spirit? And we have the Eight of Cups. Okay. More partnership energy with the Two of Cups here at the bottom of the deck. Definitely a need to try to get on the same page with a partner, I think. Spirit is saying at this time. Sorry. I couldn't reach that. Okay, let's continue with these clarifiers. So tell us what's up next, please, Spirit, for group one as it pertains to their financial flow and Guidance, advice, or blockages that you want them to be aware of. So clarifying the Six of Swords. We have independence. That's very interesting. And then advice with the Eight of Cups. Movement. Okay. All right. So I think Spirit is saying, like, what's coming up next is you're going to be moving into a more peaceful and serene place as it pertains to your financial flow and your abundance. The Six of Swords does talk about movement away from difficulties or challenges here. Again, it's connected to the third eye. So maybe some of you guys are like literally relocating, or you've been intuitively feeling that there's some sort of positive shift or change coming for you soon. For those of you that are in a partnership, I don't necessarily see you like breaking up fully, because I see like the family are all here together, right? But what's kind of interesting is that we have the mother and the child that are more of the focal point here in what's coming up next. And clarifying this, we have independence, which says it's time to go out on your own and create your own business or try something well outside of your comfort zone. I think for some of you, there could be like you coming into a time where, because like, look here, even the woman is walking away. Like there's something about you guys being in a partnership, whether it's a business or a marriage or like a long-term relationship where your finances are combined. And I think there's going to come up here soon a period where you're going to be kind of guiding the collective relationship or family into something more smooth or tranquil through kind of branching out on your own or trying something that's a little bit different than what you've currently been doing. And again, I don't necessarily see anyone breaking up with their partner, but there is just more of this emphasis on being independent. And maybe there's something about a child involved in this as well. Maybe like you and your child having a different routine or just something changing here. I feel for some of you, there could even be like an idea of going into business together with your partner, or getting at least just like getting on the same page emotionally with your partner to keep things flowing forward, because this innovation card is really interesting to me. It says you'll need to come up with new strategies to keep your plans in motion. Old ways are outdated. Invent, create, and test ideas. So I think you're coming up in a time here where you and your partner are going to be trying new things, coming up with innovative and creative, I feel with this sacral energy here, creative ideas to help keep things on track, keep things moving forward. Like really thinking outside the box, I think will be very important here. And with this indecision card, I mean, this could even be about like, if you're a parent, it could be like, okay, should I go back to work or should I get a different type of job? You know, how's that going to impact our child, right? Do I have to pay for daycare? Do they go to school? Like there's so many things that this could be playing out as, but it feels like there's like a choice that's being made here, where intuitively, I think with Neptune and all of this third eye energy, you guys know that there has to be some sort of shift in like you and your energy, the way you're operating within this dynamic in order to kind of move things into a more positive place. So then we have the Eight of Cups here and we have movement. So this is coming up in this position that's about like guidance or advice from Spirit. And I think what Spirit is saying right now with this Eight of Cups is that right now, it might not feel like you're fully getting everything that you want, right? The Eight of Cups can definitely feel like, and especially with it being connected to the root chakra, I feel like for a lot of you guys, there's sort of this lack of emotional fulfillment when it comes to your stability, right? Maybe even your emotional stability with this Eight of Cups. Like for some of you, I almost feel like financial issues or financial differences of opinion or something could be causing friction between you and your partner. And I think a part of what's helping you guys to get things back on track emotionally with your partner is through doing something different than what you've done before. But this says you'll make good progress now and you'll be able to overcome any obstacles on your path. Big leaps forward are possible. What I'm kind of feeling with this Eight of Cups, you guys, is like maybe right now you're not going to get everything you want, but it's in sort of the spirit of like building a more stable foundation for you. And again, the woman is by herself here. So I think this is more about you and your energy versus your partner. And maybe with this Eight of Cups, there's an opportunity here for you to be able to explore new and different things that do bring you fulfillment, but that also kind of support a stable foundation for yourself. So I think through doing this, through walking away from things that no longer serve you, through trying new things, through understanding that maybe like sometimes we need to venture out on our own and try things out, without our partner helping us, like maybe there is movement to come for you. Okay. Hopefully this makes sense. So let's continue. Group 1. What else do you want Group 1 to know, please, Spirit, about their financial flow and abundance at this time? I'm super curious to hear from you guys around like what's happening with you at this time. We have, okay, well, all these are coming out, so we're going to take them. We have release grudges, wounds, and pent-up feelings through healthy activities. We also have success. It's your time to shine. Success from what you pour your heart into. And then we have self-limiting beliefs. Negative thoughts are creating a roadblock in your life. Okay. So I think there's a need to release oh yeah. And look, divine counterpart. Again, Spirit is confirming this message is about you and your partner, Group 1. Again, whether it's like a business partner or like a marital partner, whatever it is for you. Even could be somebody who lives with their mom and that's the partner we're talking about. It could be anything. But, I think what Spirit is saying is like, this is a time to move away. Like to me, like there's some sort of, I think there's just something about you and this person not being on the same page. And so I think you guys are kind of moving through a new period with the Six of Swords where it's time to kind of release and let that stuff go, through trying new things, I think there is going to be a positive shift coming in for you if you're able to try and think a little bit differently or think more innovatively about what you're doing and how you're earning money. And this is saying success from what you pour your heart into. So as you guys are kind of getting out there exploring and trying different things, I want you to really be thinking about what brings you emotional fulfillment. And this is coming up with this Eight of Cups as well. I feel like a lot of you guys are sort of on an individual like self-exploration journey as it pertains to this topic right now, even though maybe some of you guys have a child or children or have a partner or a spouse, right? It definitely feels like there's something about you as an individual, your specific foundation, and being able to try to search for things that bring you fulfillment, but also bring in that abundance for you. And I think what Spirit is saying is that there could be sort of like a self-limiting or self-sabotaging belief that's getting you stuck. Like maybe there is this self-limiting belief that, well, if I take this particular path, it's not going to make me happy, right? But Spirit is kind of saying like, you don't know until you try. And that's kind of the advice of this Eight of Cups. It's about searching for something that is going to bring you fulfillment, but that also helps to stabilize your foundation as an individual within this collective unit that I'm seeing here. So this is really intriguing, Group 1. Please comment below and let me know a little bit about what's happening with your financial flow at this time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in our next reading soon. Bye. Hello, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Uranus card, this is going to be your message. And today we're going to be looking into healing blocks to abundance and wealth. So we're going to start by looking at the current energy with regard to this question for you. And then we'll take a look at where things are headed and any guidance, advice, or blockages that Spirit wants you to be aware of. So in the current energy, you guys have Uranus, and then you also have this card here, which says resistance. This is Mercury and Taurus in the second house. So let's go ahead and get just 2 more cards for the current energy right now, and then we'll kind of build out the rest of this reading. So what else do you want Group 2 to know, please, Spirit, about their abundance, prosperity, and wealth energy at this time? What else is present here in this current moment for them? We have the Eight of Wands. Okay, and then we're just going to pull from one of these. What else, please, Spirit, for Group 1? We also have direction. Okay. All right, you guys. So I feel like right now there's probably been some pretty rapid changes happening for you when it comes to this question of your financial flow, your abundance, your wealth energy, because Uranus is coming up. And Uranus with this Eight of Wands denotes like a really fast-paced sort of shift. Uranus in particular is like an energy that can be very jarring because it can almost be like we have to totally shift gears. And it's either something like a tower moment or the universe just kind of jolts us into like a new path. Or it can talk about us having to like really be more innovative in our thinking and the way we're approaching this question. Now, the reason that I kind of feel like you guys could be, I almost said suffering. So I already kind of feel like there's a little bit of resistance to change in your energy, group one, or obviously literally this card literally says resistance, which is making me feel like something has happened externally that has been maybe like kind of jarring for you when it comes to this topic. And this Mercury in Taurus, this definitely tells me that there is sort of like a very big focus for you right now on resources and money. The second house has to do with like the way that we earn money, like it has to do with our own personal abundance and resources versus other people. And like Taurus is very traditional and Mercury is like our communication. So maybe for some of you, there's some sort of news that you've gotten recently that's been communicated to you that shifted things drastically for you. But either way, like I think that it's just kind of showing me there's kind of like this push-pull between like there's a big change, but then wanting to kind of keep things the same in the way that we're looking at our financial flow or abundance at this time, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. This says your purpose is unfolding slowly, step by step as you go along. There's no need to hurry or worry. You're being divinely guided. So I think a lot of this fast-paced energy that you have been experiencing with these changes with your financial flow and abundance, this is the universe redirecting you. And that's kind of what I was getting at with Uranus, right? Uranus is that energy that kind of jolts us into a new direction. It's like a drastic shift into a totally new gear. And you've got all of this fast-paced movement here with the Eight of Wands, this direction energy. The universe is redirecting you onto a new path. But then we have this anchored energy of Taurus, which is like, no, I don't want to do that, which is totally human and totally normal. Okay. And we have the Strength card here at the bottom. So I think whatever change you guys have gone through, it is going to be requiring courageousness from you. Because it's different, it's new, it's something that maybe you have not experienced before. Some of you guys right now could be maybe with this Mercury and Taurus, maybe you are connecting with like a financial advisor or somebody who's able to guide you during this time as well. Let's see what's up next for you, group two. So what's coming up next for group two when it comes to their abundance and wealth? We have the Nine of Pentacles. And then can you tell us what blocks, guidance, or advice you would like group two to know about this topic, please, Spirit? Okay, let's just get one, please. Temperance. And then we have the Three of Swords. Yeah, I feel like whatever you guys have been through has been maybe a little bit painful. Like maybe there's been heartbreak or maybe something that's kind of also knocked your self-confidence a little bit. Because you guys, this is the Chakra Wisdom Tarot, and all of the chakras that are highlighted here are the lower chakras. The root chakra, the sacral, and then the solar plexus are here. You know, the root chakra in particular has to do with our foundation, right? And so that could be where some of that resistant energy is coming from, because maybe whatever shift that you've experienced, you might consciously know, okay, this is just the universe redirecting me, but maybe it's destabilized you guys in a very real way here, okay? So what's coming up next? Can you clarify this Nine of Coins, please, Spirit, for group two? We have Wish Come True. And can you help us understand this Temperance card in terms of advice for them? Okay, well, those are both coming out, so we're going to take them. We have long term and we have answers with short term here at the bottom, which is interesting. All right. I feel like what's coming up next for you is that you guys are going to be getting support. This says wish come true. Your wish is being granted, but it may not come in the way you expected. No worries. It is just what you need. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is a really great energy because this does show being financially self-sufficient, right? A lot of times this is like the energy of an entrepreneur or somebody who has worked really hard to cultivate a certain status and to be able to like now enjoy the fruits of their labor. This is typically a card where we're financially very comfortable. With this sacral energy here, I am kind of feeling like Spirit is saying you need to go with the flow, right? So it could be that you guys are kind of communicating and securing down like a new role or some other new source of income. But as this card is saying, it's your wish is coming true, but not in the way that you want. So I think there's, like I was saying, a need to kind of go with the flow and just sort of accept what is for now, and also accept or trust rather that the universe is guiding you divinely on this path right now. So even if it's not coming in the form that you wish that it would, it's still coming for you. And there's a lot of advice that I see here that's really interesting. I do feel like whatever you guys are securing is going to be temporary, right? This says literally short term. This position is temporary, so don't be too attached to it. No worries. You will find something that's even more fulfilling and prosperous. So like there's something here about like you guys either leaving something that caused heartbreak and maybe it was a more short-term role, or the support that you're going to end up getting. This might be like a bridge to your ultimate long-term goal, which we're going to touch on here in a second. So yeah, it seems like Spirit is saying like this fast change was coming to redirect you onto the right path for your foundational support long-term. And you're going to be getting some support. Maybe it's coming in the form of a new job or a new source of income, but it might just look a little bit different than you hope for. Just understand that maybe this is a short-term position, something to help bridge you until you get to where you ultimately want to be, which lands us here at Temperance as your advice, okay? Temperance talks about moderation, you guys. So this is a really important topic, I think, when it comes to finances and our abundance, because with the Nine of Pentacles, this can definitely be like, I'm very comfortable. I have a lot of extra. And so if you find yourself in that situation, I think what Spirit is saying is spend in moderation and just focus on taking things slow, taking things one day at a time. And as it pertains to your long-term goals, this says an opportunity could turn into a long-term career move, or you will be asked to commit to a position in exchange for more money. If you end up moving into something that is more short-term, just know that in divine timing, Spirit is setting you up for long-term success, whether this is through your career or your finances, or a lot of times for most of us, it's interlinked together, right? So there needs to be like a little bit more flexible thinking and understanding that maybe what's currently coming up for you is more of just like a bridge to the next that's serving its purpose here in you ultimately getting to your final destination, your long-term goals, your long-term career goals. We also have answers. You will resolve your current situation soon. Work-wise, you find unique ways to stand out. You find a new opening with job security. Yes. Okay. So let's pull just a few more clarifiers here to close it out. But it really feels like, Group 2, this feels like it's probably been difficult because it does seem like you've had some sort of really shocking or swift redirection that has left you kind of feeling like, oh, this hurts. You know, this was not something you were expecting. But it's like with this Eight of Wands and this direction energy, Spirit is saying like it's so cliche, but like rejection is redirection. And I really think that wherever you were, the thing about Uranus that I think is really cool is that this is really about us being able to be our own unique, authentic selves. So sometimes I feel like this planet, this energy comes into play and it kind of just like jolts us out of situations where we're not able to really be our authentic selves, or where our unique skills or talents are not really valued or appreciated. And so even though there could have been like a very painful ending that you guys are just like recently coming out of, I think that it's for your highest good. It's sort of like the universe taking you abruptly out of that situation because there's something so much better out there for you in the long term. Okay. So let's just pull a few clarifiers here to close us out, group 2. Let's see. So any other insight, Spirit, for group 2 as it pertains to their financial flow? What do they need to know? I just keep feeling like Spirit doesn't want you to get too comfortable in this next new role because I feel like it's just sort of a means to an end. We have creativity, have fun, express yourself in new ways. Okay. We have soulmate. The divine will provide you with love when you are ready. Maybe you guys just got out of a relationship or something where like your finances were tied. We also have manifestation, law of attraction, thoughts become things. Okay. So I think just to close us out, Spirit is saying like in this next chapter, try to have fun. I see with this Taurus energy a little bit of like a resistance or a stubbornness, and maybe that's warranted. But I think this is going to be a really great opportunity for you guys with this Uranus energy to be more innovative and creative in your thinking and in the way that you're showing up with your work. Okay, maybe even just getting more creative with what you're doing to earn your sources of income, whatever that is for you. And really, really be mindful of the way you're thinking about things, right? Because what we think influences how we feel, which influences the way that we behave, which then influences our outcome, right? It's like thoughts start everything. So you want to make sure that what you're thinking of is making you feel a certain way that helps you act a certain way that creates the ultimate result that you're looking for. I think that this is a time where flexible thinking is going to be really important, group 2, because you are getting an opportunity, you are getting support after a shift. But with this sacral energy, it's going to be really important to kind of go with the flow and have fun, but like not get too attached and really be thinking about your long term. Like, what do I want for the long term for myself? And how do I practice moderation and patience in getting there? There could also be something connected to your love life here too that Spirit is pointing out. The 9 of Pentacles can be when you're single, right? So like I was saying, maybe some of you guys like got out of a relationship recently, and that could be part of why there's this more of this emphasis on your own personal resources versus shared resources. You guys have the 2nd house here. But Spirit is saying that the divine will provide you with love when you are ready. So I think that there's opportunity out there for you there as well. But the 9 of Pentacles is more about us being single and focusing on ourselves, right? So maybe that's kind of what Spirit is saying right now, is that if you just gotten out of a breakup, maybe there's a little bit of a healing period with the 3 of Swords that we move through at this time, so that you have the opportunity to get yourself back up to a place where you want to be. And then Spirit is saying when you're ready, someone's coming, which is exciting. Okay. So this is what I see, group 2. Comment below. Let me know a little bit about what you've got going on with your financial flow at this time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next reading really soon. Bye. Hey, group 3, welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Mercury card, this is going to be your message. So we're going to be looking into healing blocks to abundance and wealth today. So this is going to be more of a financial flow reading. I'm going to start by looking at the current energy over this area for you, and then we'll take a look at what's up next for you, and then finish off with any guidance, advice, or blockages that Spirit wants you to be aware of. So you guys have the energy of Mercury. You guys also have, this is Mars in Virgo in the 6th house, criticism. Okay, let's pull just a couple other cards for the current energy for you. So Spirit for group 3, what is the current energy around financial flow, abundance, prosperity, and wealth at this time? Current energy. Ooh, we have the Devil. Okay. And let's just grab one more. Current energy, please, Spirit. have spiritual work. Okay. All right, my friends. So let's start here. I actually feel there's something really interesting at the bottom of the deck, which I was drawn to, which is the Queen of Pentacles and New Life. So I kind of feel like for some of you guys coming into this reading, like it's possible that you have just gotten like a new opportunity, or you've moved into a new role, or some sort of fresh start in your career, because the Queen of Pentacles is definitely a queen that is about her career, her money, her responsibility, her finances, all the things. She's a leader, right? So there could be sort of this undertone of that coming up for some of you. But in this current energy, it's really interesting because we have a lot. Okay, so I feel with this Mercury and this Virgo energy, like with this Mars in the 6th, there could be something with your financial flow, your abundance, having to do with communication. So Mercury is like verbal communication. It is written communication. It's a fast moving energy. It's also about our thoughts, how we think about things. And with this Mars in the 6th with criticism, there's something here about like critical communication or picky communication or picky energy as it pertains to your work. You know, the 6th house in particular has to do with our day-to-day routine. It has to do with our, because it has to do with our day-to-day routine, it impacts like our work that we do every day, our routine every day as it pertains to work and how we earn money, as well as our health and our well-being as well. And I feel like for some of you guys with the devil energy being here, there's something about your habits or your daily routine that might be feeling a little bit excessive at this time, because the devil can talk about excess, right? It can talk about bad habits. It can talk about guilty pleasures and things like that. And I feel like there is something about the current financial flow or abundance in your life that it's like this dark shadow over it. I feel like, for some of you guys, I feel like you are very passionate about the work you do. Like you're passionate about your routine, your day to day. But I also feel like maybe there's a tendency toward being a workaholic or letting work dictate too much from you or take too much from you. And we have this message of spiritual work, which says doing some inner work can help you get clear before you move on. You will get insights into what work will best serve your needs. I really feel like it's more of a connection to the type of work that you're doing. Now, the devil in financial, readings can also talk about like overspending, bad habits. This can also talk about situations where we're lured in by material things, even though the work itself might not be serving us in our highest good. And because you guys just have this like new life in this Queen of Pentacles, that's kind of the energy that I feel we're in right now. I mean, if you have bad habits around finances, you probably know that at this time. Maybe that is a factor for some of you. But I feel there is something about like the type of work or your routine or your day to day at this time, which is like it almost like it is addictive, or it takes more than it gives, or it's keeping you bound or tied in some way because of maybe some of the perks or benefits that you get. Even if it's not the most fulfilling spiritually. So let's see where you guys are headed next and what advice Spirit has for you. So what's next for group 3, Spirit, when it comes to their financial flow? And abundance. Okay, let's just get one card, please, Spirit. The Page of Cups. And advice, guidance, or blockages that you want group 3 to be aware of, please, Spirit. Okay, so we have the Queen of Coins and the Wheel of Fortune. We do have a 10 of Cups here at the bottom. Okay, and let me just pull some clarifiers here. So much for just getting one. Okay. All right, and then let's see. Clarifying energy, please, Spirit, for group 3. What's next? And what guidance or advice do you have for them? Maybe some of you guys also, like with Virgo, this can be like the medical field or healing field or something like that. We have people skills. Okay. Advice. Long term. We also have the energy of education here as well. Okay. All right. So I actually feel like you guys are moving into a better place coming up. I feel like through conducting some self-reflection, my heart feels very open right now. So you guys are moving into a better place with this Page of Cups. This Page of Cups energy is about tied to our wealth and our work and our abundance. It's more heart-centered. You have the heart chakra here coming up twice. Okay, and this is people skills. You have a flair for working well with others. You could be a diplomat, counselor, salesperson, or head of a company. So the Page of Cups, it is not necessarily like that Queen of Pentacles energy, which you guys do still have here. This kind of indicates something new, something where you might not be as experienced yet, but it is something that's more connected to your heart space, to your emotions, your creativity, or your spiritual work, which is coming up here. Okay, and so I feel there is going to be more heart awakening, maybe the potential to earn money or generate abundance in your life through working with people and being able to focus on that more kind, creative, heart-centered energy that you have, or spiritual work. Maybe working with people in general, or some of these roles that are listed here, like a diplomat, counselor, salesperson, or head of a company could be significant. And maybe that's a part of like what this reflection is for you. Like, it just seems like whatever you guys are in right now, it's like the day-to-day with this Mars in Virgo, it feels like there's a lot of drive, energy, and passion around the day-to-day or the work. But there's also like a potential, I feel, for burnout or exhaustion here, with the devil being here as well. And I think especially if the type of work that you're doing doesn't feel resonant to you, or if it feels like depleting to you, or if you're in like a toxic environment centered around your financial flow, like there's definitely a period of reflection that's necessary that I feel like you're in right now as you reflect on like the dynamics that are currently at play in your financial flow and abundance. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about guidance or advice from Spirit, or any blocks that they want you to be aware of. So you guys have the Queen of Coins and the Wheel of Fortune coming up here. So again, Spirit is saying like you are this Queen of Cups. This is our Queen of Coins. This has come up twice now in your reading. So I feel like they're saying like continue to work hard, continue to be responsible, continue to show up well. I feel like this is about work for a lot of you guys because we have that card here with the 6th house. So continue to show up well at work. Trust your intuition when it comes to choices and decisions that you're making. We're going to get to why in a moment. But also know that you guys have all of the tools and skills that you need to manifest whatever changes that you are looking to manifest. The Wheel of Fortune talks about cycles. It can talk about good luck, the universe coming in and like shifting things for us for the better. And I do see that potential here. But I feel what I'm noticing is she's wielding all of the tools here to create and shape her destiny. And I feel like that's what Spirit wants you to do. Again, focusing on this heart-centered energy with the heart chakra being here. I feel like you guys need to be doing work that is more heart-centered. This is how you're going to earn money, and maybe communicating or talking is a part of it too. But work that's more heart-centered. And I feel like what Spirit is saying is like continue to work hard, but continue to cultivate the skills that allow you to create those changes in your work for you, right? You don't have to wait for somebody else to come along, or you don't have to wait for the universe to shove you in a certain direction. Like you can make it happen for yourself. And then we have long-term here, which says an opportunity could turn into a long-term career move, or you will be asked to commit to a position in exchange for more money. And I feel like that is kind of like the vibe we were getting at the beginning of the reading. So maybe you guys, again, have recently stepped into something new. Okay. And it's possible that this is what's bringing in that new, fresh energy for you when it comes to your abundance and your prosperity here. But either way, Spirit is saying like, just always know that you have the skills that you need to create whatever outcome you want, to create whatever change you want, because you're operating from trusting your intuition and you're operating from that heart-centered energy when you make your changes. I think whatever path you guys are on does have the opportunity for you to go like create long-term career moves for yourself. So even if it's not this particular new beginning that you're starting, but something further on down the line, I think that Spirit is saying you are on path for setting yourself up for long-term financial success and career success as well. We do also have the 10 of Cups and education here. This says you may need to take a class or do research to find a better position, or you may find yourself writing a book or teaching others, which could also be connected to like, the communication energy of Mercury. The page can also be children. So maybe for some of you, children are a part of the work that you do. Being an educator could be part of the work that you do. Maybe wanting a family could be tied into this as well, or having a family. But what Spirit is kind of saying here is that through educating yourself, I think it leads to emotional harmony and abundance here with this 10 of Cups. I don't know, like, are you guys married? Are you single? What's your relationship status? Because I feel like some of you guys are going to meet. If you're single, I could see you like, because you're kind of on this path of doing work that's finding and doing work that's most aligned to your heart, I feel like it's putting you on path to like either like meet someone or cultivate a family. The 10 of Cups though can also just talk about community, like your soul family. So there could be something connected to that here for some of you guys as well. Like education leads you to your soul family. And so with this reading, group 3, it's interesting because the only pentacles we have are the Queen of Pentacles. Everything else is cups that we see, or that more heart-centered energy. So it's almost like for me, Spirit they're definitely giving you some guidance on your career, but I feel like more of the abundance energy for you guys is around like connections, other connections, or heart-centered people energy. Which makes sense because I feel like a lot of you guys invest a lot of money, or not a lot of money, but a lot of time and effort into your work or your day-to-day routines, and like always feeling like you owe your life to that, or you're sacrificing for that. And we have this sort of new beginning energy when it comes to like creative expression or heart-centered expression. So it could be like there are some changes coming to your personal life too that are going to create more abundance for you, group 3. Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like I was rambling for quite a bit. All right, let's take a look at just a few more cards to close us out. What else do you want group 3 to know, please, Spirit, about their abundance and wealth energy? We have past life connection. Someone with heavy influence from a past life is with you. Spread your wings. Confidence that leads to freedom and growth. So yeah, I think you guys are being like supported by your ancestors. It could even be that there's like a past life connection coming in for you, or somebody that is supporting you and assisting you and guiding you on this new path that you're on. There's a freedom associated here with this Page of Cups, this new beginning that you guys are stepping into. Let's see, one more. And then we have deception. Okay, this says false illusions, scarcity mentality, falling into bad habits. That's really interesting. And boundaries coming up as well. So I want to take this back to the devil, you guys, because that deception and that boundaries have to go into that devil energy. I think that there's going to be a need to make sure that you're really watching your habits when it comes to your financial flow and your abundance. So if your habit is to overindulge or overspend, if your habit is to be a workaholic, know that those things are kind of blocking, it's showing up as blockages to your abundance, your ability to be more free, okay? There could also be some things here around false illusions or a scarcity mentality that Spirit wants you to address as well at this time. So setting proper boundaries is going to be key. Maybe it's setting proper boundaries with yourself, right? Like if you're somebody, self-awareness, tapping into your higher self, questioning routines and patterns. So I think start questioning and challenging, more criticism, more scrutiny over your routines and patterns, and then being able to set boundaries with others and within yourself to make sure that your balance is protected and that your financial flow is also protected. I feel like you guys have a lot of really positive things going for you right now. But just like this devil is showing up in the current energy, and it is showing up as something that spirit wants you to be aware of. Okay. Because I think this is like the blockage. I feel like you guys are on the right path, but there's just a little bit of something there that needs your attention so that you can feel more free in your abundance and your wealth energy. Okay. So this is what I see, group 3. Comment below. Let me know a little bit about what's been happening with you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next reading soon. Bye.